Good evening, good evening, good evening. I am your host with the most, Coach Tea Nicole, coming straight out of Pontiac, Michigan. And I want to welcome you all to the show. It is an honor and a pleasure to have you here with us on tonight. So before we get started, I want you guys to like this video, share this video, and make sure you tell your friends and family that the Tea Nicole Show has started. And so before we get started, I want to tell you something. This amazing young woman that I know and I have had the privilege to serve under for a while now. She is my cousin. She is my sister. She is my friend. She is my therapist, my artist. She is my counselor and my my hype man. Because when I tell you, she be telling me about everything that's going on. She be like, T, you can do this, you can do that. Just put your mind to it and don't be afraid to show up as your authentic self. And so I want to bring her on, but be sure that you guys comment and let us know where you are tuning in from and what brought you here to the show. Because again, you are in for a treat. And I want to say thank you guys for being here. So for those that do not know, before I bring our special guest in, I am Tea Nicole, and I am the host of the Tea Nicole Show, as well as the executive producer. And so we got started 2 years ago in 2020 when the pandemic was happening. A lot of people lost their voices, and so they could never tell their story. And so we believe that everyone has a story to tell. So we find it very important that while people are alive and have the capability to tell their story, sometimes they don't know where to get started, who to talk to. We created a safe space so you could tell your story in the comfortability of your own home, or you can come to the studio. And so we're actually getting a location here in the city of Pontiac. Well, it's right outside of Pontiac very soon. So if you want to come, kick off your shoes, grab your cup so you can put some tea in it, some water in it, whatever it is that you need. I want you to be comfortable in your own skin, telling your own story on your own terms. And however you decide to express your story, because a lot of people dance, a lot of people sing, a lot of people act, and a lot of people just like to talk like me. So I would love for you to come on the show. So that's a little bit about the Tea Nicole Show. Every Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will go live unless we have a special guest. And so if they are international, because one thing we have been blessed to have guests from all over the world. We have had people from Africa, India, the UK is coming up very soon, Australia, just all over the world. I can't wait till I get one of my family and my friends that are in China, Japan, Korea. They'll be like, T, I need to be on your show. And so I just wanted to let you know that you will probably see them on here earlier. So don't be surprised when you see it. So I got my special guest. She's by way of Pontiac, by way of Indiana. Or yeah, it's Indiana. So wait till y'all see her. She's a little firecracker, and I'm not gonna tell y'all her background. I'm gonna let her do it because I love to hear her talk because she's, like I said, she's a firecracker and she's so full of not of wisdom. So let's bring on Coach Melvina, aka Melvi Ford, to the show. Hello, Coach.
Hi, honey. How are you? It's good to see you.
Good to see you too. You look so cute and so colorful over there. I said, look at her. She's
I
showing
have
up.
my Maasai beads on.
Oh my God, they are so beautiful. Oh, they're so gorgeous. I love them. Okay, so Coach Melvi, can you tell our viewers where are you from?
Literally born in Pontiac, but not raised. Pontiac, Michigan. Lived everywhere. California, Virginia, Indianapolis, Indiana, South Carolina, Tennessee. So I've been throughout the United States. Um,
Mhm.
yeah. Every basically all over. And I'm not a military brat, but I have coach, counselor, life coach, healer. artist, author, international speaker. New to my plethora of things are touch therapists and also breathwork therapists, along with CBT, cognitive behavioral therapist as well. So a lot going on there.
But listen, you said something, and I hope people heard that, because I heard that because you said a healer. And so healing looks different for everybody. And so would you like to, take us on a journey of what your healing journey was like and what led you to go on the journey that you are on? Because you said a lot, but it's needed for our community.
Okay, so I'm glad you asked me that, and thank you for allowing me to be able to share this on your platform. I do appreciate that, because healing is one of the words that you don't, a lot of people, unfortunately, unfortunately, the Black community, but a positive side is they're getting better at understanding that it's not a bad word. When people hear things like therapist and healer and things like that, they're like, there's nothing wrong with me, because it's not always easy for our community to admit that something's wrong, and I don't want anyone analyzing me, and I'm not crazy. And what we don't understand is we're carrying trauma around that we haven't officially looked at internally. And sometimes we don't know how to look at it internally. We've never been taught to look at anything internally, because we've always been told to just swallow it and keep going, not realizing it affects us. So my journey started, like most people, as a child. Most of our traumas and our anxieties come from childhood, for whatever it was. For me, it was the loss of a parent. I lost my mother at the age of 3. I was raised by a father who was up in age. My mom was his third wife.
Mm.
Where did this baby come from? Kind of situation. Oh, Lord, we got a baby. And my dad was 55, probably in his 50s. My mother was in her late 20s when she had me.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see the age difference. You have 2 parents who had their own traumas in life that they never dealt with. So of course it rolled over into myself. I'm being the youngest, and then all my siblings, on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
No one's ever going to admit it, because again, we're taught to be strong. We're taught to fight through. We're taught to muddle through it, make it through. But growing up being bullied, dealing with that, trying to figure out who I was. My father died at 17. I just graduated high school, so I was lost. He raised me my whole life. I was completely lost now. So a lot of the things that I could have probably learned from my older siblings, I didn't feel like I wanted to, because instead of them listening to me, I felt like I was being talked down to, or this is what you have to do. And I felt like I wasn't being listened to. So a lot of the things I did were done in a rebellious way, because, my way of dealing with it was just to run away and figure it out myself. So I bumped heads with a lot of my siblings, especially my elder siblings on my dad's side. So fast forward to that. Sorry. Something's in my mouth. Oh my gosh. Fast forward to that. Growing up, ending up in bad relationships, married men. That ended up putting me in a psych ward, simply because, again, finding myself. I didn't know who I was. So a lot of things that people would say, it would hurt me. I would be offended by it. But at the same time, somewhere down inside me, I knew there was a truth. And even though I went to church, church didn't help. I didn't feel like church could help. The one thing that I did get from church was forgiveness. And that was forgiveness of the other person, which was still a journey, because even at that time I said it, but my journey ended up with me being in the psych ward from attempted suicide twice. Yeah, that was the beginning of my dark night of the soul, you want to call it, realizing that something is truly not right, and I need to figure out what it is. So that began my 20-year self-healing journey, because once I committed suicide and ended up in the psych ward, I was there from about 2:30 in the morning till about 2:30 that afternoon the next day. basically because I didn't feel like they were really helping me. You know, all the doctors there were basically like, well, you knew you were wrong. You had no business doing this, and you da 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 da. It was like, you know, let's see. I just tried to kill myself twice.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you think I know that?
Mm-hmm.
The last thing I needed was someone telling me, pointing a finger at my face, doing this. You knew you. I didn't need the judgment because I had already done enough judging of myself, which unbeknownst to a lot of people, when you're in the midst of situations like that, you're already judging yourself. You're already lost. You already feel horrible. You are completely lost. No one ever comes out of the womb, come out being born saying, this is what I'm just gonna do. I'm just gonna come out here and just hurt everybody and do what the heck I want to do. No, that's not true. So of course, again, 12 hours in the psych ward. But even after I got out, once I realized the psych game, they were pulling on me, I got out and I was still suicidal. I just knew that I didn't want to go back that route again. So I didn't attempt anymore. I went through, like I said, 20 years of a self-healing process. I went through 12 steps. You know how they have Alcoholic Anonymous, they have Narcotics Anonymous. I went through Depression Anonymous, or whatever you want to call it. You know, I went through every step: denial, anger, blame placing, you know, until finally I got to a place of forgiveness. But it wasn't until 20 years later. But during that process, I had a lot of midnight cries. I had a lot of midnight screaming at nights. I had a lot of dealing with a lot of my own past, facing myself, forgiving others, being able to ask others to forgive me. And that was some hard things. That was some hard realizations to go through. Realizing where the pain came from, because that was the one thing I knew that I needed to go through was, I don't want to cry in the middle of the night anymore. I want to find out why I'm crying in the middle of the night. Why am I acting like, why is this hurting me? Why am I in so much pain? Why am I on this continuous cycle of whatever I'm doing that's causing me to go through this? It was internal introspect. It was finally no one taught me to do this. I made it up in my mind. I want to know why. So I went through the processes of being forgiven, and getting direction. And the one, I thought I was healed at one point, and healing, I learned over the years that healing takes time, because right when you think you're over one hump, something else comes up. So one particular story, the woman who's the person that I had an affair with, that was married, his wife, they were divorced at the time when she and I was able to communicate again. And that was one of the biggest hurdles that I had to overcome. But everything in my spirit said, do this. You have to do this. And I knew it. Finally found out the gumption to do it when I caught up with her on Facebook. I inboxed her and I apologized so profusely, and everything inside me was dying while I did it. Literally dying. Like, I can't do this. This is too hard. But all I could succinctly remember is every night I could hear her on the phone conversation she was having with him about the whole situation. And her cry broke me into a million pieces, literally broke me. And sometimes I'm not as emotional as I was then, because when I tell you this is like almost every night I did this about her. Every time I heard that voice on the phone, I was wrecked. So I apologized to her. She, with no hesitation, this is just how much of a wonderful person she was. She forgave me instantly. She said, don't worry about it. We all, she basically said, we all got to go through some changes. We all got to learn some things, and that's okay. Because you know what? You're still my sister. Here's my phone number. Call me anytime you need to. You would think that I would be okay with that. Mm-hmm. It sent me careening down even further. I crashed even further. So after years of finally being able to breathe and kind of be okay, and that was like 9 more years, literally it took 20 years. So the first 9 years is that. The second 9 years of me forgiving myself after she's already forgiven me. And not only that, her ex-husband at the time, was you know, he had come to me and apologized in his own way because of how that whole situation came about, because he admitted to me, I was lost. I didn't have control of my own life, and all you were trying to do was be a friend. And this situation happened, you know. So you never know. I don't care who you are. You never know what a person's past has caused them to be in anything. So, but it took me another 9 years, even after he asked me to get past that. So it was, like I said, 20 years. I was able to breathe from both of the situations. I was able to be okay with her forgiving me and forgiving myself, like I thought I did. Mm-hmm. Forgave him. About 2019, she passed away. Everything inside of me broke again. And the only thing I can think of was, you can't die, because this is key. I kept saying, you can't die because you forgave me. It was like the minute she stopped breathing, my forgiveness was gone. That covering was not there anymore, because I felt like the world just ended for me. I'm like, you know, it was hard. I mean, literally the most painful thing. I think I've only had maybe 3 instances of having that much trauma in my life, of losing someone because of whatever. It got dark. And I remember the day I found out. I was driving. I couldn't see the road when I saw it. Her daughter was posting something on Facebook saying that she lost her best friend. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. You know, next thing you know, she said at the end it was her mom. And I almost ran off the road. And I literally, like, everything got blurry. I had to grab the wheel and find somewhere to park, because I did not literally know where I was going anymore. It was just that I couldn't do it. Got over into a parking lot, and I stopped, pulled the phone up, and scrolled to her mom's page. And the first thing I saw was one of her mom's closest friends, who was a choir director. And he posted on there about how he lost his best friend, and I lost it. I got out the car, the parking lot. I don't know if I closed the door or not. All I know was I couldn't breathe. And I was walking aimlessly in the parking lot, like this can't be happening. You know, I kept saying, you can't die. You can't die. But I couldn't breathe at the same time. It was the hardest thing in the world for me to even get control of this. I still remember to this day, I saw a shopping cart, and it seemed like it took forever and 10 years to get to that shopping cart, just so I can get somewhere to hold on to, because I knew I was about to fall out. And I managed to get to the shopping cart, and I stood there for like 5 minutes just crying. And I couldn't get in contact with anyone. And I felt that at that point in my life, I felt so alone, because that's all I kept saying. So it took me another 10 years. No, I take that back. I'm sorry. 2 years to breathe through that and realize that she was gone, and it's okay, because she forgave me, and it's okay. It's all over. It's in the past, and that past didn't control me anymore. You know, so it has been a journey. So when I tell people self-healing, it's actually better if you have someone to help you through it. But I'm glad that I did the healing steps, because now I know there was actually a name for what I went through. It was called cognitive behavioral therapy, and there was also dark night of the soul. And those are two different almost, but at the same time similar things, because I'm writing a thesis on it. Mm-hmm. And it's where you're lost and you don't understand. You want to understand your behaviors. You want to understand why you made the decisions you did. You want to understand you start questioning life. Why am I here? Which is why I ended up in the psych ward in the first place. Why am I here? What's the purpose? I keep making these mistakes, so it wasn't easy. It was not easy, but I am glad I did the work. Then I became a metaphysical life coach, counselor, minister. About a year, it's 19. I met Enolia Foti from Angola, Africa. She's a big sister. She is phenomenal life coach. She is a shaman. She's a grandmother elder. I mean, she inspired me. And I knew that my connection with her was needed to be, because her story kind of reminded me of myself so much in so many different ways. And I knew I had some more healing to do. The spirit was telling me, you have a little bit more to go, just a little bit, but not a lot. So there was a second phase to my healing. So not only did she help me through that healing phase, I took her EAS class, Empower, Achieve, Succeed, her master class. I also took that. And not only did I graduated from her class, I also became an EAS coach, life coach, under her tutelage. And through all that, it helped me. I got more healing. I also had a shamanistic healing with her. And the healing that needed to be done to end that chapter in my life, or in that novel, if you want to call it, because that's what it was. It felt like a novel. It helped me. So now I dedicate my life to women, everyone basically, but if you want to really narrow it down, it's about the heart of a woman for me, because I know what my mom went through. Actually, both grandmothers, they dealt with traumas and abandonment and abuse, and when I saw how it affected, when I started understanding spiritually what affects and how we take on those generational traumas, and I saw how it affected my life growing up, how it affected my sister's lives growing up, how it affected all of us. I made it up in my heart, especially for my mom and my grandmothers, that I'm going to step out and do what I need to do for other women, because I want to give them a safe space to talk, to vent, to heal, to get whatever needs to be, to face it, but not have to face it alone like I did. Most of it I faced alone. I dealt with it alone. I wish I hadn't, but because of what happened to me in the psych ward with the doctors, I didn't trust anyone until Enolia. So now I'm to the point where I want to help other women understand you do have a safe space. You have someone you can talk to walk you through each step of it. It's not going to be easy, because it wasn't easy for me. I've circled around a lot of it several times. Healing takes time, but you have to make the first step and acknowledge the fact that, yes, I have something going on with me and I don't know why. And a lot of people like to use different modalities of, what do you want to call it, to deal with it. They want to use other methods to deal with the pain, or deal with the stress, or deal with the anxiety, to hide it, to cover it, such as narcotics, such as drugs, such as alcohol, whatever it is that you're using to do that. It's, it might help you to deal with your anxiety so you're not so anxious, but then all of a sudden it becomes a habit and you become addicted to it. And the thing is the fact is you've used this so long to now you can't live without it. But the one thing people don't understand, and I've heard this several times, is they say, well, this is what's helping with this, because I no longer have my taste buds anymore. So I use this because in order for me to do this, in order for me to eat and taste my food, I have to do this. The one thing people seem to forget is God created everybody, everyone's body. Our bodies are created to heal itself. We are self-healers. We know how to do this if we do the right thing. So at the end of the day, it's always a choice as to whether you want to heal or not. Now, if you admit and say, I like doing this and this is where I want to stay, okay, then that's a different story. Hands off. I respect that. If that's where you want to be mentally, physically, emotionally, and it affects your body and you're okay with that, because at the end of the day, it affects the body, then I'm good with that. But if you really want to heal, and I'm willing to help anyone who's willing to help themselves and to admit it and take the small steps to go towards that place that everyone wants to be. Everyone wants love. Everyone wants to be heard. everyone wants to be understood. I want to help everyone with the areas that I felt in my life I didn't have, even though I was told that. But when you're consistently taught that, then all of a sudden you shut down, because then they'll say, well, why didn't you tell me? Because you didn't give me that avenue to do it. Because if I tell you how I feel, you turn it around and make it feel like I'm making a dumb decision, or I'm saying something stupid, or I'm not making any sense because it doesn't add up to what you want me to do. But you're not listening to what it is I want to do. And never did you ever ask me, what is it that you want to do? And if I don't know, then you're supposed to help me figure that out. Not point me to the direction you think I ought to go because it sounds good. No one's ever had that.
So I want to add to that. I don't want to cut you off because you're talking so good. I want people to realize something. I want to say first, Mel, thank you. Thank you for telling this side of your story, because a lot of people don't know. And sometimes we prejudge people and look at people and say, oh, they got their life together. Or we just judge them based on how they deciding what aspect of them is leading. So the thing is, we just be so quick to pass judgment without getting understanding. And then I love the fact that you said something about you healing yourself, because you did go reach out for help, but then it backfired. But I want to say thank you for trying, but then you learned a holistic way of healing. And so that's why we are here today. And you're just letting your light shine, because I see it. I said, look at her. She's showing up. Every time I see Melvina, it's just like something. I just love to see her because she brings a different energy. And not only does she bring a different energy, she brings her transparency. And a lot of times people need to see that, because sometimes we, again, pass judgment on people. And then for you to be able to take us on a journey with you, because you said a lot, but so many people can relate to you. So many people can say, dang, that was me. That's what I experienced. Or I didn't know that's what I was experiencing. But for her to come and tell me in a way that I could understand it, because I heard you and you mentioned something and about like what we want to hear, or what we want, how we want to be exposed, or how we want to be heard and all that. And we most importantly want to be seen. A lot of us just want to be seen. And sometimes when we're not seen, we show up and we do different things. Like my cousin, she had mentioned something when you were talking about the different things, the outlets they turn to, the habits they start to create, the bad habits. So the substance, the sex, gambling, and other addictions that they turn to as an outlet for aiding the pain. So I want to say, finish. Is there anything else you wanted to say? Because I didn't want to cut you off, but I wanted to make sure people heard you, because I know they did, but I just wanted to add that little bit for you.
Actually, that was basically it. I just want to pour my heart out and let people know that before you judge anyone on the mistakes they've made, ask, figure out who they were before they got to that point. What happened to them? Why did they end up like that? Because our excuse is always to say, well, they knew better. That don't mean a jack nothing. That don't mean nothing. Just because you know better doesn't mean you're going to do better. People expect everyone to do the right thing, but I'm going to be honest with you, as there's no one on this earth that's ever not been caught doing the wrong thing. You've done something in your life that you were not proud of. You've done something in your life that got you caught up and you're like, why the hell did I end up doing this? What was the problem with me? You don't need 20 other people doing this to you. You don't need that. And that's what happened to me. I got judged at the church. And I mean, there were other married women who looked at me cockeyed crazy, said I was trying to take their husband and everything. And the thing about it is, I had just came out of hell with that. So why the hell do I want to go back in it again? And it put me in a psych ward. So that should have told them instantly right then and there, she's been through something. She's been through something. Don't make her feel bad. Help her to understand in a way. And one woman tried to, but at the same time, there was an undertone. There was another woman who looked at me. I had never done anything to her. She used to smile at me and everything. And she looked at me with daggers.
Yes.
Like I had done something and I didn't even do it. Her and her husband were separated. I had no intentions on coming at that man. Wasn't thinking about a man at the time. Because I had just been broken into a million pieces. I don't want your man. I don't want nobody's man. I don't want my man. If I had one, I don't want one. So, and I forgive her because she was already in her own storm. And that was the biggest thing with anything going on. Forgiveness is huge. Forgiveness, I don't care what you say. I don't care what you've been through. I don't care how much it hurts. If you don't forgive, you're killing yourself. Flat out. You're
You
killing
said
yourself.
forgiveness is for who? Forgiveness is for who, ma'am?
You, yourself. Yourself. You don't forgive other people for something that they've done. You can, if they accept it, that's fine. But if you do it for yourself. Because if you don't, you are killing yourself, because you're holding in all of the bitterness, all of the anger, all of the resentment, all of the whatever you want to call it. Get back. I don't care. Whatever. You're killing yourself. You have to forgive, because guess what? Hurt people hurt people. And it's unfortunate. But if we want to turn this around, we have to change this scenario.
Thank you for that. Hurt people, but we have the power to change the scenario. We have the power to change our narrative. We have the power to work on us, but it takes forgiveness. You got to forgive yourself, forgive those that did wrong to you, or forgive people just because it's not for them. It's for you. So that way you can show up. So we're going to pause for a moment. I'm going to bring out something. I want people to see something about what it is that you do. So we're going to pause for a moment, okay? Thank y'all for your patience. I'm still learning how to do this. Is this it right here? I believe this is it right here. I think this is it. Okay. Hold on, I want to play this too. Mm-hmm. Where's that? Oh, geez. Melvina, you can keep rolling. You can keep talking about your business. I don't know what I did with it. When I bring it on, I'll let you know.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. So tell everybody about your business and what it is that you do.
Okay, so as I did say, I am a life coach. I'm a holistic metaphysical life coach. I am also a counselor, metaphysical life counselor. I work with touch therapy, cognitive behavior therapy, and art therapy, also meditation and breath work. Being is how sometimes when we're in so much anxiety, a lot of people don't realize when they're in anxiety, they forget to breathe. And the only thing that's happening right now is what's going on in their head. And we tend to let what's going on in our minds take over than what's real, because what we forget to understand is what happened in the past. Whatever has already happened, it's in the past. We have the power to create our now, right now. So we can change the atmosphere. We can change the tone of whatever's going on. We don't have to continually let whatever happened in the past control us. And that's by breath work, learning how to breathe. When we start learning how to breathe, we change our status, our emotional status, our energy status. We go from alpha to beta to theta. And once we're at the theta mode, all of a sudden, everything is calm around us. Everything is quiet, and you get a chance to go within and hear, because you get to shut out all the other noises. That's a hard thing to do because we have so many different things going on. We have social media, we have television, we have radio, we have people, we have job, we have, I got to do this, we have kids, we have mates, we have husbands, wives, whatever, the dog, any instance going on. And we need to take time out daily, if not once a day, twice a day, to just breathe, shut out the world, and shut out everything else that's going on, and go within just to hear, if nothing else but the quiet. So with my breath work and my touch therapy, it helps women, men. If there's a team, us as humans, we crave touch. We love to get hugs. We love to know if you're crying and someone walks up and they touch you on your back very slightly, or they're rubbing you on your back, it tends to calm you down. Or it can also help you to release. Sometimes it's not to get you to be quiet. Sometimes it's to help you get that out. So with touch therapy, that helps you. And I provide a safe space for that. I help you to give you a safe space to lay down, play music for you, healing music, of course, because all music has different frequencies. And if you're listening to those frequencies, your spirit has no choice but to kind of connect to those things. And it helps you to breathe. I teach you how to breathe. I teach you how to be able to relax. So when those instances come up that bring you the pain and bring you everything, instead of you holding it in and clenching up, you learn to let. Teaches you how to let go. So you can express how you feel, however you feel. If you're angry at your parents for whatever they did, you get to cry it out. You get to scream it out. You get to tell your parents, even if they're not there, because it's a safe space again, how you felt. This is how I feel because you did this to me. You left me. You get to get it out. Because once you've gotten it out, you've not only healed yourself, you give it a chance to heal. You give your body a chance to breathe and say, that's what it feels like. So we put the two together, breath work and touch. And I give you that safe space. Not only that, teach you how to meditate. Also, part of these methodologies is Reiki, where I tap into all of your energy, your 7 energy areas, whether it's the lower level or the higher level. And I tap into the heart, especially because the heart is the line, the difference between the lower level and the higher level, because the heart feels everything. The heart, remember that, the heart feels everything. Even without talking about chakras, the heart feels everything. Whatever you're dealing with in the lower areas, depression, anxiety, whatever, or whether you're communicating with your spiritual side. And that's the part that we really want to get. But there's both sides, unfortunately, because we are living in this world right now. We're on this journey and we're having an experience. So this is what I do. And my journey is for the heart of women, because I want to give women a space to talk, to get it out, to release and become the woman that you're destined to become, to walk in the journey that you are supposed to walk into. It's not God's wish that any of us should have to suffer in life. It's not supposed to happen. It's supposed to be an experience, but we're not supposed to let that experience control us and have control over us for the rest of our lives. We're supposed to learn from it, grow from it, and help someone else from it.
I want to add to that. I want to say thank you for all of that. As someone that has learned to heal from her past trauma as well, the breath work, the Reiki, the hypno sessions, the spending time in nature, spending time with God, doing a lot of meditation, doing dancing are a part of holistic methods of healing for me. So I'm so happy that you do the work. I'm so happy that you mention all those things. And a lot of time when people go to church, I'm gonna say that I went because I was someone that was head over church. But then when I learned to do different things, a lot of people would judge me, or a lot of people wouldn't talk to me or deal with me because I started doing breath work. I done started doing Reiki. I done started doing yoga. I done started doing different things of healing past my trauma. And I thank God that I've been exposed to opening my mind, number one, and then trying other things besides medication and being stressed out, being worried. So, this form of healing is so prevalent to today. Because again, if you think about it, our family members before us, our ancestors before my grandmother, my grandfather, and all of that, a lot of the times they didn't talk about their problems, their issues. And so many of them, they live long lives, but then they begin to get sick because they were not able to go to the hospital. Like I can go to the hospital if I'm having this ailment and I'm having this ache and this thing, because you said something in the beginning talking about our bodies. they can heal themselves. And the thing is, because we be around so much fear, because we be around so much stress, anger, doubt, all of these negative things, then we forgot how powerful we were. But if we go back to the beginning again, looking at our ancestors, I used to read the Bible all the time, and I was looking about how the in Genesis, in the first book of the Bible, how the herbs were here, the plants were here for us to live, thrive, heal from those type of things. Not so much the beef, not so much the chicken, not so much the steroids, the everything else. Like this stuff that we're dealing with, we're faced with, it's been around for a long time. But like us talking right here, right now, this, I'm being transparent and I'm being open. So I'm glad that you came here today to talk about this, because you said something. You went to the psych ward. Like you had this setback, but I can't judge you, because I fell into depression and I wanted to take my life. But I didn't go to the hospital, but instead I went on a journey of healing and self-discovery, and said, God, show me who you really are. And so it was just a little bit different. Just like somebody that may have been in jail or incarcerated right now, they said something. I was at a meeting yesterday and they were saying like that person just got caught. A lot of us should have been in jail. A lot of us should have been here, there, whatever the case may be. So we should never, like you said, pass judgment on anybody, because everybody has a story. Everybody's experience is different. So some of us get caught, some of us don't. So for us to be on this journey, on this new path of healing, self-discovery, I love what you do and how you do it. And so it's some more things that you do. And I want to make sure I'm conscious of your time, but I want to show this little video clip because you have some offerings, and I want to make sure people know about your offerings and the gifts that you have. You mentioned the work that you do and your titles, but they don't know. Some people don't know. People that know, they know. But I need to, I'm gonna amp you up. I'm gonna pump you up, because this is the space for it. This is how I do it. So you gotta excuse me, Melvina. I'm gonna show the video. I'm gonna show the video, but before I show the video, guys, I need y'all to listen to me. So Melvina, she says she's a coach. She do Reiki. She do the breath work. She does therapy. If I did not say that, but she does a few things. Oh, the touch. She does the touch, but not only that. So I had a session with her. I'm gonna just say that I had a session with her, and I was going through physical pains in my body, dealing with heartburn, anxiety, stress, fear, and I thought I was about to be out of this world. So she had me eating some food, being hydrated. So this woman will bend over backwards, forward and backwards for you. Number one. Number two, she does body soap. I mean, she does soaps, she does candles, she does artwork, she does everything. If you need it, oh, she make jewelry. And y'all, I'm so mad I don't have my piece. She made a little a necklace for me. And so I want y'all to know she does it all a lot. And then baby, I shouldn't be telling her business, but I'm gonna tell it like it is. She made a seasoning. She made a seasoning. This baby cooked me some vegetables, and she made some seasoning for them vegetables. When I tell you, I done ate vegetables all my life. I love vegetables, but when she put her seasoning in it, baby, I can't wait for her to put it on the shelf, because y'all gonna be looking for Coach Melvina. She gonna give y'all her information. But I told y'all I gotta brag, because some people be humble. I want them to be humble, but I'm gonna tell their business. And the business is, this is a working woman. She's an author. She's a speaker. She does a lot. She's a EAS master instructor. So if you need a coach, if you need a therapist, if you need somebody to help you write your programming out for your business, shoot, she could probably even do that, because she's very organized. She's very structured. She gonna help you get you together. So you need to hire her today. It ain't about me, but it's about her. So y'all get with her, and then she gonna do it in a loving way. She's not just, her name is not just Coach Reverend Melvina. Her name is a grandmother, Coach Reverend Melvina. Hello, y'all better ask somebody, woman of wisdom. So y'all excuse me, I had to get that out of my system, but honor is given where honor is due. And so, baby, thank you for being your authentic self. And I know you've been doing a lot of talking. I want you to, if you have some of your pieces, pull out your pieces, because this is the time where we're going to allow you to shine. So let me play this video, because she got a couple things coming up, and I'm mad that I didn't do everything that I needed to do, but she gonna pull it out because she has it, because she got stuff for sale, because we need to get her some business. Y'all, she's in Tennessee, but she will travel. So if you're looking for somebody to mentor you, to heal you, to do whatever it is that you need to do to show up as your authentic self, contact Reverend Coach Melvinia Ford. Grandmother, Coach Reverend Melvinia Ford. Almost doctor. So we're going to clap it up again. Get some of your stuff, and we're going to watch this video right quick, okay? I'll see you in a minute. Thank you. Okay. I don't know why the music is not playing, but that's okay. Y'all watch the video.
Falling in love with who I am. I don't have time for anything that's gonna harm me. It may be hard to understand. Words have the power to empower or destroy me now. I'm looking in.
So guys, as you can see, I showed you some of the videos. She has a couple classes that she's running next month. So I want you guys to tap into her. We're going to bring her back onto the stage. And I'm so glad that you guys are here watching the show, because this woman right here, y'all don't even know she's a heavy hitter. And I am honored to be in her company. I am honored to know her personally. I am honored to sit on stages with her. I'm honored just to be like, I can say that me and her both, we took the class together, but it's bigger than that. I remember when we used to work out at the gym together, and we both was in a car, and I had said something that I wanted to heal the world, and somebody told me they was making it seem like I was being cocky. I was confident that I remember that dream that I had a long time ago when God said that I'm going to be healing millions. And I didn't even know to what capacity. So here it is, this show, the Tea Nicole Show, that we are in our infancy stages. But the thing is, I'm talking to people in Africa, talking to people in India, talking to people in the UK. I'm talking to people all over. And it's just that little act. Oh, in the USA. I'm talking to people, and I'm doing exactly what I said I was going to do, and that's heal the world. So I'm going to bring Melvinia out here so she can finish showing you some of her products. Melvinia. There you
go. You should have saw me running around a minute ago. So, as she said, I do a lot of work, and that was given to me. This is a Maasai necklace. Massage jewelry, but I also create my own jewelry. These are a couple necklaces. This is a carnelian, and carnelian is for the it could be for the lower chakras. It actually is for the lower chakras, and it helps, always helping in healing. We have a bunch of different necklaces. This is one with various stones in it, and they are crystals. So we have green aventurine, we have clear quartz, we have citrine, so it's a mixture of these three, and these cover the lower 3 chakras as well. I make bracelets. These are black obsidian bracelets. I have a chakra bracelet here. I make chakra wands. These are good for Reiki healings, Reiki energy, or if you feel that your energy is off, you can use this for your own self. Different resin keychains. I make necklaces. This is one of my necklaces that I make. This has green aventurine in it, resin in it. Woo-wee. I made so many different things. Let me see. Soaps. This is a hemp soap, hemp made soap with, this is, Lord have mercy, hibiscus in it. That's what it is. This is hemp. And then we also have hemp soap with 2 different scents. This one is lavender and I can't think of the name of it. I just made these, but these are curing and they'll be ready in about 3 weeks, and this will be ready in 4 weeks. But these are hemp soaps. These are homemade hemp soaps. This one right here that I did, this was a pre-made soap. All I had to do was melt it and put my scents in it. So some type of blossom in it. And when I say it smells heavenly, it's amazing. I love it when I make homemade things. So you've gotten to see my keychains, my necklaces. I also made, and this is for sale, and the person that sells it, that buys it, this is a pyramid.
How much is that going for?
This is for $170, but if you buy it, if you order it from this show, I'll give you a 30% discount. So if you want this pyramid, it's heavy too. Trust me, it takes about a big, huge jug of this plus maybe more to make this. And if you can see some of the things in here, I have crystals in there. I have pearls in there. I have flowers. I have cowrie shells at the top.
It's beautiful. It's so beautiful in person. I wish I could see it.
Lapis lazuli in here. I have clear quartz. I have green aventurine. So it's a lot going on in here, but I made sure that I did this. I saged it really good while I was doing it, and I was playing my healing music. So this is called a Nubian pyramid. It's a resin pyramid, and it's like I said, it's $170. But if you purchase it off of the show, saying that you saw it on the Tea Nicole Show, you get a 30% discount. So yes, these are some of the things. So one more thing. So as I set this down, because it's so heavy, candles. This is one of my own personal ones, but this is a road opener candle. I used to think that all road opener candles had to be of this color. This is one I bought from my favorite botanical store. Usually you can buy them like this. But then once I talked to Papa Legba, he told me you can make your own. And I learned from him because he is a spiritualist as well. So I started making my own candles with as road openers. And what these do is help you when you're trying to get a breakthrough with a job, or if you feel like something is blocking you. You light these candles and you keep them burning as much as you can until they burn out, until they're literally burned out. And that helps you to open up the doors that are trying to block you. So I make these. I also make 4 different candles for my Phoenix Infinity line. Lastly but not leastly.
What the hell?
This is my book.
How many of those do you have? Is it, you got 3, don't you? What the hell, 1, 2, and 3? Or is it just 1 and 2?
Well, 1 and 2 right now. I'm getting ready probably next year to start segment 3. The 3, it's going to be a trifecta, or trilogy, but I haven't started part 3 yet because I was living 3. I had to wait till the story was finished, and now I'm like, okay, I can tell 3 now because I'm ready to tell it.
Yes. Well, how can our viewers, how can they find you? Because like I said, you offer a lot. So how can they find you and purchase your items?
They can find me. Well, right now my website is being worked on, so it's down. But they can also email me at Rebirth Dimension. That's REBIRTHDIMENSION That's my email. You can also reach me on Facebook at CoachRev MelviniaFord. You can also look for my business page on Facebook, which is Rebirth Holistic Healing. I'm also on Instagram under Rise from the Ash RBD, or TikTok. You can find me there at Rebirth Holistic Healing. Let me see, LinkedIn, Melvinia Ford, or I think it's Reverend Melvinia Ford or Melvinia Ford on LinkedIn. So you can reach me in a bunch of different places.
Well, guys, I want y'all to make sure y'all tap in to Coach Reverend Melvina, because I'm telling you, she is so amazing. Grandmother, Coach Revina, Melvina Ford. Look, I gave her name, Revina. I gave her a whole new name. So, grandmother, Coach Reverend Melvina Ford, because again, she wears so many hats, but most importantly, she's an amazing woman, mother, sister, daughter, friend. So I want to say thank you for being a special guest on our show. We look forward to seeing all that you do. And so, guys, y'all make sure y'all connect to her. The links are in this original post. So make sure y'all tap into her. If you need to get in contact with her, inbox me. I'll send you to her, because again, she's my sister. She's a mentor. She's a friend and somebody that I confide in. So I want to say thank you, Reverend Melvina. And I want you to have an amazing evening. And y'all make sure y'all connect to her, because again, she offers a lot. She makes candles. She does the books. She has her line, her jewelry line. She has so much to offer this world, and she's showing up healed, whole, and free. So thank you, Reverend Melvina, for being here again. And we appreciate you and we see you. So I thank God for you, and I hope you have an amazing night.
Thank you for welcoming me on your show. I enjoyed it. And thank you, everyone, for being a viewer. God bless you all.
Thank you. Talk to you soon.